Hi, and welcome to More Human, More Resources, the HR podcast for entrepreneurs. I'm Vicki Brown, your host and CEO of Vidamaneo Enterprises. As a serial entrepreneur, I understand that having the right expert help has been critical to my success. That's why I'm dedicated to telling you, in plain language, what's going on in the world of HR that might impact your business and what you need to do about it, with real actionable tips to help you master that list of must-dos and grow your leadership muscle. First things first, the information contained in this podcast is provided for general purposes only and is not to be considered legal advice. Your decision to adopt or not adopt any practice or procedure mentioned in this podcast is solely yours, and we bear no responsibility for the outcome. We urge you to always consult legal counsel and other appropriate licensed professionals. And with that, let's get into the show. You're listening to Season 5, Episode 4. You know what I hear all the time? Vicki, I want my team to be accountable, but I don't want to be a micromanager. Well, let me tell you, that's exactly right. Because accountability isn't about standing over someone's shoulder watching their every move. That's not leadership. That's babysitting. Today we're diving into how to create real accountability in your team. Not the kind where you're checking up on people every 5 minutes, but the kind where your team actually takes ownership of their work. Now, the foundation of accountability starts with clear expectations. And when I say clear, I mean crystal clear. Your team knows what to expect and what success looks like. What are the goals? What are the deadlines? What does great work look like versus just okay work? But here's where my first-time leaders trip up. They think setting expectations is a one-and-done conversation. You tell someone what to do, and then you're done. But that's not how it works. You need to document those expectations. Write them down. Get agreement. Because I promise you, what you think you said and what your team member heard can be two very different things. And don't forget to include the why. When people understand the purpose behind what they're doing, they're more likely to take ownership of it. They need to see how their piece fits into the bigger picture. And speaking of expectations, let's talk about you, because accountability actually starts at the top. If you want an accountable team, you've got to model it yourself. When was the last time you missed a deadline? Did you own it? Did you explain what happened and what you're going to do differently next time? Or did you just brush it off? Your team is watching. They're not just listening to what you say, they're watching what you do. So when you make a mistake, and you will because we all do, own it. Be transparent about what went wrong and what you learned. That sends a powerful message about what accountability really means in your organization. Now, here's something that might surprise you. The most effective accountability doesn't always come from you. It comes from the team itself. When your team members start holding each other accountable, that's when you know you've created something special. But you've got to create the right environment for that to happen. Start with collaborative projects where team members have to depend on one another. Create opportunities for peer reviews, not the formal kind that feel like a performance review, but genuine feedback opportunities where people can help each other improve. And most importantly, build trust. Your team needs to know it's safe to speak up, to disagree, to point out problems. Without trust, peer accountability, well, it turns into finger pointing really quickly. All right, let's talk systems, because good intentions aren't enough. You need a way to track progress. Now, I'm not talking about complicated software that takes an engineering degree to figure out. Sometimes a simple spreadsheet is all you need. The key is having something that shows who's responsible for what, when it's due, and where it stands. Your system should make it easy to spot problems before they become disasters, because that's another thing about accountability. It's not about catching people doing something wrong. It's about catching issues early on so you can help your team succeed. That means regular check-ins. And no, I don't mean those deadly status meetings where everyone goes around the room giving updates that could have been in an email. I mean meaningful conversations about progress, obstacles, and needs. Make these check-ins about support, not surveillance. And that brings me to finding the right balance between autonomy and oversight. You see, your team needs room to work. They need to be able to approach tasks in their own way, to make decisions, to feel ownership over their work. But that doesn't mean you completely step away. You need checkpoints, regular touch bases where you can offer support, remove obstacles, or course correct if needed. The trick is to be clear about what decisions they can make on their own and what needs your input. And don't forget the icing on the cake, celebration. When someone on your team goes above and beyond, when they show real ownership, when they deliver exceptional results, celebrate it. Make it visible, because what gets recognized gets repeated. Remember, your job as a leader isn't to do the work. It's to create a place where great work gets done, where people feel empowered to take ownership, where they know what success looks like, and where they have the support they need to achieve it. Real accountability isn't about control. It's about clarity, support, and trust. When you get those elements right, well, accountability becomes part of your culture. It becomes how your team operates, not something you have to enforce. Now, here's the thing about building this kind of accountability. It takes time. You won't get it perfect right away, and that's okay. Start with clear expectations. Model the behavior you want to see. Build systems that support success. And most importantly, keep showing up, keep being consistent, and keep working to get better. Because at the end of the day, accountability isn't just about getting work done. It's about building a team that takes pride in their work, that supports each other, and that delivers results. Not because they have to, but because they want to. If you found this information helpful, please leave a review and tell a friend. Thanks for spending the time. Until next week, same time, same place.